Hi, everyone. This is the inaugural episode of our podcast. I'm Lia Vincent. I own Vincent Vacations. We are a travel agency with over 250 travel advisors, and I travel every couple weeks, and I love to tell about my travel. So here we go. This is Becky. She's one of our top travel advisors. She's here with me in Mexico, and we are at the grand opening of Secrets Playa Blanca. Okay, hi, Becky.
Hi.
We're going to talk about Secrets and give you the inside scoop and what's happening with Secrets for the next 6 months as they kind of do a staggered opening. And then I also just got off of Icon of the Seas. Royal Caribbean has built the largest cruise ship in the world, and I want to tell you all about it. We are coming to you from the presidential suite of Secrets Playa Blanca. They let us in here to tour it and to record our first podcast. So I think that's so cool. Shout out to Regina with Secrets Playa Blanca. She's the social media manager. And let's get into it. I want to talk about first Secrets Playa Blanca, and then we'll go into Icon of the Seas, largest cruise ship in the world. So we were here yesterday, and we were the very first guests to check in. I actually was here in Mexico early, and I wanted to be the first because that's just my personality. I'm just a little obnoxious. And so I had the sales person pick me up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like, if you guys are coming with me, you get what you get. 8 a.m., let's go. It took about 45 minutes to get here. And I mean, they're still doing some construction. And like, we're asking the construction people, are we the first? Are we numero uno? It was a little bit ridiculous. But they had mariachi band. They had a whole ribbon cutting. We got to cut the ribbon for the hotel. What do you think about that, Becky?
Oh my gosh. I felt like a celebrity. Like they had the people all dressed up and it was crazy. It was very in Lia fashion to show up in style. So
we were like, I don't know if I can check into any hotel ever again.
No, we can't go back.
They really kind of wined and dined us. So we are keeping like a level head about this. I know this is not how the general public will experience Secrets Playa Blanca. Yeah. So we do put our regular people hats on. And when we walk around and see how guests are experiencing this, don't you think, Becky?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just how our clients are going to show up, what check-in's going to be like, how the transfers come in, all those kind of things.
This hotel is going to open in stages. And I think that's been a big question. And I've noticed a lot of people asking about that. The main part of the hotel is open. They have the rooms. They have a lot of the big suites. Obviously, we're here in the presidential suite. I'm in the bedroom of the presidential suite. Isn't it pretty? And Becky is on the balcony. It's a 360 balcony. It like wraps around the whole side of the building with a huge tub. I mean, I think 10 people could fit in that tub.
Oh, easy.
And then our room, we're in a master swim out suite. And this has this huge pool that connects to our balcony, sitting right on the sand. It's pretty awesome. I wish I could show you in a podcast what I'm talking about, but just know it's exactly like what you kind of are hoping for in a Caribbean beach resort type of room. And then some of the restaurants are open and they're kind of staggering that. Was it 88 people that checked in yesterday? We were 1 and 2. But 88 people, I think 83 are today because some just came for one night. So we're not getting like the full, like how it feels if it's at capacity. But I think we're still getting a really good feel for it. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah, I think so too. I love that the swim up's heated. That's a big plus. We came from another resort that was not heated, so it was a big deal. Yeah, I like that the resort is very spacious. It's a large resort, so you feel like you have more seclusion and places a little more private. You can gather with your friends and that kind of thing.
The heated pool, I think, is huge. The Preferred Club, and I'm going to kind of go into that. I know that's a big question with Preferred Club. Is it worth it for the upgrade? And a lot of people want to talk about that because honestly, to be real, some of the Secrets and Dreams resorts, I don't think it's worth it. Just being honest, it's like you get extra snacks and like a lounge that you don't go to anyways. But at this one, I personally think it would be worth it. What do you think?
100%. Yep, 100%. The
they
Preferred
have
Club Lounge is beautiful.
yeah, they have a huge preferred club lounge, which is open air. So if you're coming in like July, August, that might kind of suck. But they also have a huge pool, and the cushions, if you could see my hands, they're probably like 6, 8 inches on all the pool chairs. But then they also have an amazing beach club, and they're actually finishing the beach club bar, and it's going to be only for preferred club guests. So you have this whole beach club area that is just for preferred club guests. And that is going to be, I think, a game changer for people deciding which they want. So one thing I really like about this hotel is the location, and it's because of the beach. The sargassum, that is seaweed basically, and I'm sick of the word sargassum, to be honest. It's been a thorn in our side as travel advisors because it's here sometimes, it's not here sometimes, it's in April, it's only in September. You can't predict it, it's Mother Nature. But up here in Costa Mujeres, this seems like a sweet spot. It's blocked by Isla Mujeres. I know even someone was messaging me right before we started recording this podcast saying, is there sargassum or seaweed? I'm not saying that word anymore. I hate freaking sargassum. What do you think, Becky?
Do I hate the word sargassum? Absolutely. Because then I always have to explain, like, yes, it's seaweed. It's basically seaweed and it stinks and it's awful and we can't predict it. And I don't know if your vacation is going to be awful because of it. But this area is great. I like it. Feels like Turks and Caicos right now. So The water's beautiful.
The water is so clear here. And I cannot promise you that it's going to be clear 100% of the time. But this area is just more prone to good. Usually you're saying more prone to bad, but more prone to good as far as the beach. And the beach is really deep, and they have great chairs down there. You don't have to reserve them in advance or do any of those kind of hoops that some resorts make you go through. I'm really impressed with the beach and the resort in general. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the activities here at the hotel. That's another thing that people ask about as far as what is there to do. This morning, they had kayaking tour. They have Hobie Cat. To me, standard resort activities. Last night, they had a live band. I thought she was really good. What did you think?
Oh, she was amazing. Yeah, she was really good. And they had the poker night where they had tables set up and everybody playing games, and then the music, and then a live DJ after that. There was plenty of nightlife, I felt like.
Yeah.
Especially with 88 guests.
Yeah, with 88 guests, that's what they did. So can you imagine when they're, at full capacity able to do that? You're going to have kind of a different daily activity program. And so they have an app, and you're able to download that and kind of see what there is to do here on property. So they're going to, honestly, I talked to this lady on the beach this morning. She's like, I'm surprised there's not more restaurants open. I was like, really, lady? There's 88 people at this hotel, and they have 2 restaurants that are huge, open. They could seat everyone at both restaurants at the exact same time. Some people are very unrealistic. It is what it is, but they're going to open more restaurants as the capacity of the rooms fill up. Then of course they're going to be able to feed everyone. Like, it's kind of a duh to me. Like, let's be realistic. You're not going to come to a 5-star all-inclusive resort and they're not going to be able to feed you. That's like not a thing. What did you think about the food last night?
I thought the food was great. I had a macadamia shrimp. That was so good. I was impressed. Compared to other secrets, I felt like it was better than some of the other secrets I've been to.
We also ordered room service right before this, and I thought the food was really good. I had salmon, and it had a great flavor. It was hot. I'm still putting my hat on, like, hey, I know there's only 88 people here, so the capacity for good is probably a lot higher, but they get it. We met the executive chef yesterday, and he wants this to be a 5-star for food, especially, of course, because he's a chef. I'm going to be real. But they get it that this is a resort group that is geared towards Americans and Canadians that want to travel for good food. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about is the staggered opening. That's been a big question. I've had over and over questions on our TikTok about if the spa is open. Let me answer that for you guys. It is not. It's going to open in June, but I have good news for you in general. So what they are doing is they are opening specific rooms and creating this whole section in a group of rooms that have cardio equipment and spa. So you're able to get a facial or massage, that kind of thing. The only thing you're not getting is the hydrotherapy, which honestly is my favorite part. It's not the massage, it's hydrotherapy. But here's my other favorite part, saving money. I love a deal. They're giving better prices right now until the full spa is open to get those massages and facials done. And it still smelled good. What do you think,
Oh
Becky?
yeah, it smelled really good. And they had a room for just a single massage, and they had another room for couples massage.
Okay, so kind of to wrap up Secrets Playa Blanca, this is the best of both worlds. I've been to most Secrets resorts. So put that into perspective. I feel like you're talking to somebody that knows what they're talking about. I've been to Secrets Cap Cana. It kind of gives me Secrets Cap Cana vibes. I've been to Secrets Moxché like 7 times. It definitely gives me Moxché vibes and Secrets Akumal vibes. If you're following all of these hotels, it's going to take a minute for it to be at all of these levels, but you're also going to get a good price right now. So let's keep that in perspective. You're going to get great pricing. You get probably one of the best beach. If I was going to pick out of those three, the best beach and probably the best food. I will say that my only complaint so far on this food is I think the pizza at Secrets Moxché is like way better. It's not even a competition to Secrets Moxché has way better pizza. But great job, Hyatt Corporation. Great job, Rosie. She's manager here. I'm really impressed with the resort. I think it has so much potential and it's a really impressive grand opening. And everything seems to be running really smoothly with just very minimal hiccups. So come on to Mexico.
Everybody says no Mexico. Why?
Yeah.
Why is all I have to say.
Yeah.
Bang for your buck.
Better
It's
food.
beautiful, better food, better service. Go to Mexico.
3
Yeah,
hours.
I also wanted to talk about the feel of the resort and how they have like those artistic touches that we talked about earlier today.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So
So
impressed.
there is a mural in the Market Cafe, which is the buffet. It's hand painted, 646 tiles made by an artist in Guadalajara. It's beautiful. And then last night we were at the lobby bar. I mean, like even the cushions on the seat were like handmade in Oaxaca.
So impressed that artisans of Mexico do such an amazing job.
And that they took pride in this property and to
Mhm.
showcase that in the Mexican culture. I think that's really cool.
That's so true. A lot of the all-inclusives are really cookie cutter. And honestly, sometimes Secrets can feel cookie cutter on some of them, or like if they're honestly more of the resort takeover ones. But these newer ones that they've done with Moxché and Playa Blanca, they're knocking it out of the park. It's really impressive with all those little details that they're doing. Okay, let's transition to Icon of the Seas. One thing that I found very entertaining is everyone keeps referring to Icon of the Seas like the Titanic. And I see why they're saying that because of kind of the buzz and everybody being so into the biggest, latest, greatest thing like they probably were 100 plus years ago. But let's set the record straight on that. Icon of the Seas is not Titanic at all. They have a lifeboat for everyone. There is enough spots for everyone, plus some if they need to use them. So I think that is going to be my short and sweet mention about the Titanic thing. It's a little bit ignorant or maybe just fun to say. I mean, it could just be like being scared of the unknown. And this is something that people like to say just to get people riled up, which I know a lot of people are like that. But it's come a long way. The ship was actually built in Finland, not Ireland like the Titanic. But this ship has taken years to build. And I am, so impressed with Icon of the Seas. And they invited my children. So I took my children on Icon of the Seas. Very first sailing. There was a lot of celebrities on board. I would not hesitate to go back on Icon. I know I didn't experience it like I would if I was a normal paying guest because it was not a capacity, just like this experience here at Secrets. But let's talk about it. I actually really loved it. But I will say, let me tell you who will love it. Becky, I think you would love it because you love Disney World. This is Disney World and a fun city on the water. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And I'm a family of 5. So I think that's something to talk about as well. The fun cabins.
Absolutely. I did a video of our family of 5 cabin and actually those infinite family veranda suites. They sleep up to 6. And I got so much hate messaging on TikTok based on me calling it fairly affordable. So let's talk about that. Honestly, I'm just talking. And to me, I think it's fairly affordable. When you compare booking 2 cabins on a similar class of ship, I'm not comparing booking 2 cheap MSC or Carnival cruises that fit your family of 5, the cheapest possible thing you can find. I'm not comparing it to that. What I'm comparing it to is 2 cabins on a high-end family sailing. The fact that Icon has these cabins that you can sleep all 5 or 6 of you in one cabin, and comfortably, honestly, they had bunk beds and then a day bed and a trundle and then another king bed. I think it's affordable. It's not cheap. Affordable and cheap do not mean the same thing.
Yeah. And I felt like they were spacious as well from the videos that I saw that you made, that they were spacious for a family of 6. I know I've sailed as a family of 5 in a Carnival cabin. I'm not in a Carnival cabin, but they're tight. And so that one felt a little more spacious.
My 2 rowdier boys, I have 3 sons. They were at the end with the bunk beds, and they each had their own TV, which I'm not a huge component of screen time, but on vacation, it's my vacation too, y'all. I don't care at that point. We're not doing homework. We're not trying to make you play outside. We're already doing all of those things. So let's be real. There's a TV at each one. People were like, that's going to be broken in 5 minutes. This is vacation. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I guess that's all part of posting stuff on social media. You get the good with the bad, but it's fairly affordable when you're comparing this kind of experience to similar experiences that people with families of 5 and 6 are going to book. And it's not for the cheap. It's not for cheap.
Absolutely. If they're going to go to Disney World, that's where we're talking about money-wise. Like
Hawaii. You have to book 2 rooms at the Sheraton in Hawaii. You're going to spend more money than you will on Icon of the Seas.
Yeah.
In my opinion. It all depends on the what week, but that's how it is. Let me tell you about Icon besides just complaining about all the social media publicity. Icon is amazing. You know who is going to love it? People that like to go to Disney World, people that like to go to cities, like what we talked about. But it's like people that like lots of things to do. But I will say there were lots of little kind of escape areas if you don't necessarily want to just be in the action the whole time. But there are also other ships. If you want to be in the quiet, pick something else. So on Icon, they have the longest water slide at sea. And honestly, it's a whole water park. It's not just one water slide. They also have a whole restaurant row. In Central Park, there is so many different restaurants that you can pick from. I really would love to cruise again on Royal Caribbean without my kids. Yeah. I would go on Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas without my children. And it's not just for kids. And honestly, I mean, I'm a cruise person. I enjoy cruising, but it definitely, I think, can appeal to adults because my kids are not going to want to go to all these amazing dining experiences. And to be honest, I think that I should give them another chance, but their kids club was just okay. The kids have sailed a lot with Disney Cruise Line, and so I feel like they could be like little experts on kids clubs because I love to send them to a kids club. And they said that they enjoyed the Disney Cruise Line Kids Club more than Royal Caribbean. But then 1 for Disney Cruise Line on that if we're going to keep score, but then 1 for Royal Caribbean on basically everything else with the water park and all of the other activities that they had. They had a rock climbing wall, they had the surf simulator, all of those kinds of things. And those things don't have any additional cost. So when we're all fretting about affordability, we're comparing apples and oranges when we're talking about general vacations. Let's say you go to the JW Marriott Marco Island, which is one of my favorite hotels in South Florida. You're spending $800-900 a night, and then you're spending $1,000 on the freaking arcade. Honestly, that's what happens when you go there, and then you're spending all of the activities besides the pool are going to cost you. So with a cruise, the kids really had a lot of things to do that didn't have any additional cost. When you're cruising, what do your kids like to do, Becky?
Endless food. The ice cream cones, the French fries. It's just an endless smorgasbord of food. So How was the food? Tell me about the food.
The food was really good. And honestly, I didn't get to experience some of the ones that I would really like to try. Like there's one like kitchen something that looked amazing. But since I was on such a media sailing, they had it all scheduled out for us. But the food, even in the buffet, was really good. The dining room was a good experience. It's not 5-star dining, but I was with my children. I personally like trying lots of different types of food. And they always had a section of Indian food every night. And that's me and my
Okay.
husband's favorite. We were perfectly content eating Indian food every night at the buffet.
Yeah. How about the boys? Was there plenty for them?
There was plenty for them. They had burgers, they had all of that kind of stuff. They also had an outdoor Mexican restaurant that you could go get and have like a salsa a bar and guacamole and all of that. And that was no additional charge. That's one thing with cruises. And one of my sales reps said that to me one time. People get all bent out of shape about how cruises have a lot of extra charges now. But think about this. When you're cruising, let's say 20 years ago, what was included? The buffet, the main dining room, the pizzeria, the shows at night, the activities by the pool. That was pretty standard. All of that is still included. So I feel like people need to keep that in perspective, and the prices really haven't gone up as much as inflation in general has gone up. So what we're looking at is they're just making the ships bigger and including more, but not necessarily charging their guests more. What they're doing is they're just including more, and then you can pick and choose. If all of those things were included, the cruise would be so stupidly expensive. Let's be real. If they were like specialty dining and you get fine dining, prime steaks and Japanese hibachi and all of those things, if everything like that was included for every single person, it would be astronomical.
Yeah. So I'm close to an empty nester. So this is what I'm curious about.
Okay.
Tell me about the adults only areas. So if I want to go on Icon, what area is that I could go? There's not 300 children running around all day long.
Right. That's a great question. There is a whole section called Hideaway, and there's no extra charge to go into Hideaway. And that is something that a lot of the cruise ships do have, like a small adults only area, but it's not going to be as extensive as Icon. I mean, as it shouldn't be, because Icon is huge. So they do have to accommodate a lot more people. But where you're going to pay more money is Icon does have some amazing like Bali beds. I think they're overpriced. Let's be real. I've seen it $350, $400 a person for these Bali beds, but it's a captive audience. And let's go back to, this is the newest, greatest thing in cruising, especially for this market of type of cruising. And they can charge whatever they want because people are paying it. If people don't pay it, they will lower the price. Are you planning any group cruises anytime soon, Becky?
Always. I'm always ready for a group cruise. I really want to go on Icon and take my family. I think the kids would love it. I think it's good for a vast range of ages, little kids to big kids, especially multi-generational, taking your whole family along. We'd love to do group cruising.
So one thing that I thought was really cool for the adults, and even it really starts at 18, is the Hideaway section on Coco Cay. This just opened the week I was there. So we were there for the very first one, and they have an entire section. Honestly, it's as big as what I would, assume that a lot of beach clubs are in general. They had restaurants, bathrooms, probably, if I was going to guess, and I'm not looking it up, but about 20 cabanas. Plus a huge pool, and that pool is actually heated. That's one thing I don't love about the Bahamas in the winter is you're going to get cooler weather, especially from we're Oklahoma, Texas area. We want it to be in the 80s before we're going to be getting in the pool, especially if it's not heated, but they do heat the pool in Hideaway. And then you could rent those cabanas. They range, and it kind of depends on the week. They range between $1,500 and $2,500, depending on the cabana. Some of them have this swim out feature. So, of course, those are the more expensive option. But if you want to go on Icon, make sure you go to Coco Cay. Make sure you get a Hideaway day pass. You can be in Hideaway during the day when you're at sea. You can go to the Hideaway section at Coco Cay, and you don't have to necessarily have it feel like you're at Disney World with everyone else's kids.
And those cabanas hold up to like 8 people or something, right?
It's 8 people. Yeah, it's 8 people. So you can split the cost, and
Yeah.
you drink and waiter service and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
And then your drink package,
your drink package comes through to Coco Cay. Yeah. Or if you just are paying by the drink, you still get the drink service. They'll just bill you for it.
there's cabanas in the water park section as well, right?
There is cabanas in the water park, so you can do it in the water park, and that includes entrance to the water park. The regular water park is not included. And then they also have cabanas, overwater cabanas. My only complaint on the overwater cabanas, which I know is me being nitpicky, is there's no bathrooms. You still have to go find the bathroom in the overwater cabana. But then they said, oh, but you have the whole ocean. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyways, I highly recommend Icon. It is super sold out. So be
Yeah.
flexible on your dates. The Star is coming out. This is Icon's sister. This is a whole new class of ship for Royal Caribbean. The Star is coming out. It didn't come out with amazing pricing like Icon did when it first came out because everybody already has fallen in love with Icon. So the Star does not come out with cheap prices, but Utopia of the Seas is an Oasis class ship. That one comes out in summer of 2024. We will definitely be on one of the first sailings and be able to tell you about Utopia. And that is Oasis class. Oasis class is not going to price the same as an Icon. So I feel very confident. Obviously, I took my children on it and I would not hesitate to go back on Icon. Thank you for joining us today. This was our very first podcast. We would love to know in comments what you would like to see, what you would like to hear about. I travel every couple weeks and like to showcase whatever's new in the travel industry, whether it's cruise or land vacations. And make sure you're following us, Vincent Vacations on Facebook, Vincent Vacations on TikTok, and Vincent Vacations on Instagram. Isn't that easy? You're able to just use the exact same @ symbol for any of the social media platforms. But I'm Lia Vincent. Thank you very much, Becky, for joining us. She's one of our star travel agents.
Thank you for having me.
She's located in Oklahoma City, so you're welcome to reach out to her, Becky at vincentvacations.com, to help you plan your next vacation to Secrets Playa Blanca or Icon of the Seas or Star of the Seas or whatever you come up with next. Okay, thanks for listening, everyone. Make sure you subscribe and like. I would love to have comments, good or bad. I can take it. I have thick skin. And I can't wait to showcase what we're going to do next in a couple of weeks. Thanks for listening.